Welcome back to Front Page. I hope all of you enjoyed the conversation with Tushar Shinde. And back to all of the exciting news that we have to share today. And up next, we have OpenAI, the startup. It has touched $500 billion in valuation. Look, in November 2022, when ChatGPT first launched, skeptics mocked it as a toy, and even one engineer called it OpenAI's worst product concept so far. And fast forward to today, that so called worst idea now powers around 700 million weekly users, processes 2.5 billion prompts a day, which is nearly 29,000 every second. And this has just propelled OpenAI to a $500 billion valuation. So, this means that OpenAI is now the world's most valuable startup, and it's overtaken Elon Musk's SpaceX, which stands at $400 billion in valuation. But isn't just a story about finance, it's about how AI is reshaping industries, geopolitics, and even the entire energy infrastructure. Because take a look at OpenAI's investors. We have SoftBank, Thrive Capital, Dragoneer, Abu Dhabi's MGX, and T. Rowe Price. And employees had the approval to sell $10 billion plus in stock, but sold far less. And this is being interpreted as a confidence in OpenAI's long term upside. So let's also take a look at the scale behind the price, because this isn't just speculation alone, and the usage curve is historic. Because as I mentioned, we have 700 million weekly active users on ChatGPT, and we have 2.5 billion plus prompts a day. And that means 29,000 prompts every second. And a $4.3 billion of revenue in H1 2025, and it has already exceeded all of 2024. But also $7.8 billion in operating loss, which is being driven by massive R&D and compute costs. Essentially, OpenAI isn't just running a chatbot, it's running the busiest human machine interface in history. And more importantly, infrastructure is the key product at OpenAI. And we've covered this extensively on Front Page, which is the $500 billion Stargate project. So, OpenAI plus Oracle and SoftBank together are scaling to 10 gigawatts of AI compute. And this is the equivalent of 10 nuclear reactors. So, there are 5 new United States sites pushed planned capacity to 7 gigawatts and involving $400 billion in committed investment. So, this isn't just a startup anymore, folks. It's an industrial build out that is shaping the national AI infrastructure. And let's also take a look at NVIDIA's $100 billion bet on OpenAI. So, NVIDIA isn't just selling GPUs, it signed a letter of intent to invest up to $100 billion into OpenAI's energy grid. So, the first 1 gigawatt of compute goes live in H2 2026 on NVIDIA's Vera Rubin platform. It's vertical integration at a scale the AI world has never seen, and the chip maker and model maker are building the backbone of intelligence all together. And then, of course, there's the Microsoft angle, because OpenAI is converting its for profit arm into a public benefit corporation and balancing non profit oversight with the for profit flexibility. But reports show that Microsoft's revenue share with OpenAI could shrink from 20% to 8% by 2030. And this improves the economics as Stargate and Nvidia's investments reduce the dependency. And not to forget the talent wars. The biggest risk isn't just the cost, it's the talent fight that's going on. Because Meta is offering 9-figure pay packages to lure OpenAI researchers. And Anthropic has surged to a $183 billion valuation. And of course, we have China's DeepSeek that is scaling open source models at lightning speed. So the $500 billion valuation also works as a retention tool, which is rewarding employees to stay as rivals circle. But there's also a little bit of friction. We all know Elon Musk's lawsuit claims that OpenAI has abandoned its non-profit roots. So OpenAI's blunt reply is as follows: "We don't need your trade secrets. We won't be bullied." So the noise is real, but so is the compounding usage. Remember, 29,000 prompts every second. Look, here's why all of this matters. One, infrastructure. AI has moved from apps to trillion-dollar grid projects. And number two, we have the geopolitics factor. Stargate anchors US compute sovereignty amidst the global chip wars. And three, we have the confidence. Employees are refusing to cash out billions, and it shows the belief in OpenAI's path to a $1 trillion status. In the end, here's our take. From being dismissed as the worst product idea in 2022 to running the busiest interface in history and to becoming the world's most valuable startup at $500 billion, OpenAI is no longer just building an AI chatbot. It's building the infrastructure of intelligence itself.